Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand, and it is match day. Finally, match day has arrived. The 24-25 season kicks off with Manchester United versus Fulham at Old Trafford. Friday night football, the first game of the weekend. It's Manchester United, it's Erik ten Hag, it's the new structure, it's the new team, and I cannot wait. I honestly cannot wait. I've been thinking about this game for months now. It's a fresh start. We all know that last season isn't what we wanted, but we finished it on such a high, getting that FA Cup, and then going into the new season, fresh ideas, fresh coaching staff. Erik ten Hag is getting the backing of Ineos. There is exciting times ahead. The team just feels like it's got some aura, and it feels like the coaches have got aura behind them, and I'm so excited to see us play tonight. I just hope that we can start off on a positive note. I really do, because you look at Manchester United and you look at their opening three games. You have Fulham, you have Brighton away, and then you have Liverpool at home. That is a tough opening three fixtures. Fulham at home, you have to win. And I am going to predict a win, by the way. Get your predictions in down in the comments. You've then got Brighton away, which notoriously has been a really tough fixture for us. I know a lot of the away travelling fans will know how tough that's been. We've had some shocking results down on the South Coast. We honestly have. So Brighton's going to be really tough. You've got to kick off with a win at Old Trafford to take us into that away game. And we have to start at Brighton, the first away game of the season. We have to go and win that game or get a decent result. Even a draw for me, you've got to go and get that win at Brighton. Then you've got Liverpool as well, which is obviously our biggest rivals at Old Trafford. We did really well against Liverpool last season despite having a poor season. We all know what happened in the FA Cup against them. We've got to go and do the business. And if you get them 3 games under your belt, you have some good momentum going into the season. But it all starts off at Fulham. Now, I've seen Mark talking, and he says they have the second most amount of crosses into the box last season, and we know how poor we've been at defending crosses. Harry Maguire, does that mean Harry Maguire is going to start, or do you start De Ligt alongside Martinez? Get your comments in down below. There's big questions. Erik ten Hag had his press conference yesterday, and he said that Mazraoui and De Ligt will both be in the squad as well as Harry Maguire. Does he trust them both to start straight away? De Ligt, already in the training videos, is looking super vocal, looking like he's been here for years. For me personally, he has to come in. Is Mazraoui up to speed? There's been some rumours that De Ligt's a little bit ahead of Mazraoui in terms of fitness. Will Martinez then start at left back? I'm going to be honest, it's exactly what I would do. I'd go with Onana in goal. I'd go with Mazraoui at right back. I'd go with De Ligt and Martinez as a 2 centre halves, and I'd go with Dalot at left back. We know how good Dalot can play at left back. He did it multiple times last season. Mazraoui is a new signing just coming in. I know he can play at left back, but playing him in his favoured position I think is really important in his first game in a United shirt. I think Lisandro Martinez is absolutely crucial at centre back, a future captain potentially for me. That being said, I'm absolutely buzzing that our current captain, Bruno Fernandes, has signed a new contract. I honestly see him retiring at the club. I think he's going to go down as a legend, honestly. And I really hope to see him lift some major trophies with Manchester United in the future. But Martinez, for me, is a leader. I think we saw in that FA Cup win how crucial he is. He was so crucial in the FA Cup win. So crucial. We've seen him throughout Copa America play minute after minute and just be excellent. And he's obviously gone and won Copa America by being a starter in that team. He wasn't quite a starter, a consistent starter for Argentina when they played the World Cup and they won it. But this Copa America, he's been a starter and he's been absolutely fantastic. And again, I thought in the Community Shield he looked good, but he's better at left-sided centre-back than he is at left-back. Playing left-sided centre-back is so crucial. It'll lock in the midfield, playing them through balls. Let's get that partnership started with De Ligt, because that's a partnership we're going to want to see consistently in the first few games of the season, especially while Yoro is injured. But De Ligt and Martinez is going to be the partnership. Let's get that started at Old Trafford. Let's push the line up. Let's push the midfield up. Let's push the forward players up. Let's hit Fulham on the front foot and have a good team shape and allow Onana to do what he said he's going to do, which is take a few risks and play a high line. Let's do that. That's what I would be doing. If Mazraoui isn't quite fit, I can see Maguire playing. Obviously, we know how good Maguire is with crosses coming into the box. I've said it a million times, but his head is like a ball magnet. Like he has got his purposes. But if you want to play in a high line, you really want De Ligt and Martinez playing in that centre of defence together. Then it comes to the midfield. My starting midfield would be Casemiro, Kobbie Mainoo and Mason Mount. And I hear people in the chat already saying, Beth, what is your obsession with Mount? Why are you having Mount starting? The reason why I am is because I think in pre-season he was good. And I also think that shape really worked with Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount basically playing as 2 false nines in the City game in the Community Shield. Why fix what's not broken? We're not going to have Højlund. I think it's very unlikely that Xerxes starts after not getting a minute in the Community Shield. Ten Hag speaking about his need to adapt and train more with the team. People are saying play Rashford up front. Rashford hasn't been good up front for Manchester United. He's a left winger. That's his best position. I would say Rashford's position in terms of order of how good he is, left wing first, then right wing, then centre forward. I don't see him as a centre forward. And yet you've had Bruno Fernandes playing false nine in the FA Cup final. Fantastic, absolutely unbelievable. And he plays false nine again in the Community Shield and also has a great game. Why change that? Why change that just to fit in another attacker? It's the first game of the season. You've got to get your team shape right. Don't want to concede goals. Let's get Bruno Fernandes in that false nine spot. Who comes into play in the midfield? For me, it's Mason Mount. I think he brings that energy that's needed, and I think his pressing has actually been really important throughout the pre-season and in the Community Shield as well. So that's why I would play Mason Mount. I think Mason Mount goes under the radar because, you know, he doesn't necessarily do the fancy things, but he's got the work rate, and I think he's a good team player. So I would play him there. I would play Garnacho off the left. I would play Bruno Fernandes as the false nine. By the way, Bruno Fernandes potentially getting the captaincy in my fantasy team tonight. I keep going between Isak, Haaland and Bruno. But opening day of the season for United, I feel like I've got to back Bruno with the captaincy. It could come and bite me. By the way, if you've not joined already, join the United Stand Fantasy Premier League that we've got going. I've also got my own league going as well for my followers on Twitter. You can go and see that on my Twitter. Go and get involved with the FPL. Going to get some prizes sorted out for that as well. So make sure you go and get involved in that. But yeah. Why? I've seen Mark do his preview and he said he would play Bruno in the midfield and he'd play Rashford up front. Why? Why change it from what Bruno has been doing super well? Obviously, when Højlund and Xerxes are ready, you're going to play a centre forward at centre forward, and Bruno will go back into midfield, which we know he's good at as well. But while Bruno has been playing excellently at false nine, why change that now on the opening day of the season? I personally wouldn't. So I'll play Garnacho off the left, I'd play Ahmad off the right, and people say Rashford needs to start, and I think he will start. I think Erik ten Hag will start him. What I will say about Rashford is when I watched him in pre-season in the open training, I thought he looked levels above everybody else. I thought he looked absolutely superb. Like, he looks sharp. And I think there's definitely, obviously there's a player there and there's so much talent there. But at the moment, Garnacho and Ahmad have been the best performing wingers. Therefore, I think they should start the game. Rashford can come off the bench. I think he can do absolute damage to Fulham's defence off the bench, get his confidence up for the start of the season, and you create healthy competition for places then. I think Ten Hag will go Rashford off the left, Garnacho off the right, and I think Ahmad will be dropped. But I think it'd be very unfortunate for Ahmad if that did happen. And Ahmad's contract is ending for Manchester United in 2025. You know, it would be an absolute disaster if he went for free. He needs game time. And I think he deserves it off the way he's been playing as well. Obviously, you shouldn't just play a player because the contract's expiring. But Ahmad is deserved that through the way that he's been going with Manchester United at the end of last season, but also in the pre-season as well. So I think that's a good team. I think Fulham, you know, they are strong. They are a strong team. You know, the manager, Marco Silva, has been a very good manager in the Premier League. We've had some dark days against Fulham, but we've also had some really good times against Fulham. We've beat them at Old Trafford. I think we lost to them last season, which was really unfortunate. That was where Manchester United was going through a poor time. But they have lost a really important player for them, which is Palhinha. He's obviously gone to Bayern Munich. So Palhinha for Fulham, I feel like would be a big, big miss. We know they wanted Scott McTominay as well. What I would say is one to watch is Smith Rowe. Obviously gone to Fulham. For me, I feel like he's going to be their talisman. He's got something to prove. Opening day of the season, I think Smith Rowe is definitely one to watch, creative, and I think Arsenal might have let him go too soon. I think he's a really good player, so he's one to watch as well. We know how good their wingers are on the counter-attack, again, which is why I would be putting a left-back or at least a full-back against their wingers, which is why I would be playing Martinez in the centre of the pitch, so we've got to watch out for that. But Manchester United, for me, in this game, it's about dominating, keeping possession, taking our chances. Erik ten Hag has talked about being more clinical. That's super important as well. And I think there's just going to be such a huge amount of positivity on the opening day of the season. I mean, I know people who have got tickets. They're absolutely buzzing. They can't wait to get in there. We've just come off the back of that FA Cup win. Ineos have come in and made some brilliant appointments. You know, you've got Ruud van Nistelrooy. Like, no disrespect to Steve McLaren, because I know Steve McLaren has been around the block. But just when you look at the bench, when you see Ruud van Nistelrooy compared to Steve McLaren, you just get a more sense of, you know, you just get a sense of urgency from Ruud van Nistelrooy. He has aura. He knows what he's talking about. He's played the game. You can tell he demands respect. And obviously, all the coaches at Manchester United should have respect. But Ruud van Nistelrooy demands respect. Rennie Harker, another one that's come in. New coaches. You know, we've got new goalkeeper coaches. Ineos have made some fantastic appointments. I feel like recently, you know, with the social media and the announcements of the signings, everyone's been so hyped up. I think the social media team has done a fantastic job. But all of this means nothing if we can't perform on the pitch, and we have to perform on the pitch. We have to. This is going to be a really exciting season for Manchester United, and I can't wait to see how we can do. I've already said this might come back to bite me. Go and watch my Premier League predictions. Manchester United, for me, third place this season, and Europa League, and I'd be buzzing with that. That's progression. But the main thing for Manchester United I want to see, we've seen we can win trophies under Ten Hag, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. What I want to see us have a style of football. I want to see us dominate teams. I want to see us, you know, go to the Emirates or go to the Etihad and not have to just play, you know, like 11 men behind the ball and hope we get a chance. I want to see us go toe-to-toe with the bigger teams. And I get that, you know, Arsenal and the City, they'll still be ahead of us. Liverpool probably as well, potentially. I mean, how they're going to be under Arne Slot, not too sure. They look good in pre-season, but you can't read too much into that. But I want to see Manchester United be able to go toe-to-toe with the big teams and be able to play on the big stage. That's what I want to see. But look, everyone, that is the road trip. Get all your comments down below. I'm going to go 3-1 to Manchester United against Fulham. Let me know what you're thinking. What are your predictions for the season? How excited are you? Let's see what happens in this game. But come on, United, and let's go for the new season.